everybody to this week's edition of Hassel's Review. And this week we're going to tackle Super 7's G.I. Joe and Silverhawks Ultimate lines that have been released as they are right now. Now, before you take anything I say out of context, let me go ahead and say I am a huge fan of the Super 7 Ultimate lines. I will say that I do think that the best of their series that they have done out of all of them are by far the Ninja Turtle line. Those figures are very, very detailed. They look very good. They got great posability. When they look very, very much like the old Playmates toy line. Not only look like a toy line, they look like a really updated, detailed adult version. So these I truly, truly love. I will say the second would probably be their Thundercats line, who also look very detailed, not cartoonesque. They got a great deal of detail and care and update, and just while also capturing the love of the line and the cartoon. So it's a good fine mix. So with that being said, I am a fan of these. The G.I. Joe ones, as well as the Power Rangers and some of the Silverhawks, I will say are a little too cartoony. I know that with the Joes and the Silverhawks, they had said they were cartoon variants because if you have the classified lines, they can't do super detailed. I get it. But I went in for several of these because I didn't go in for any of the Power Rangers. I will go ahead and on record and say that right now. The accessories on those look great and they're in abundance and really cool. There's just not enough accessories there for me to spend $59 fucking dollars. Not happening. Head-wise, the sculpts look great. Body-wise, they look trash. I will say I'd much rather spend $22 on a Hasbro Lightning collection that is very detailed, got the same amount of articulation, and some really cool accessories as well. So, moving forward into the G.I. Joe line, I'm going to start out with a compliment sandwich here. So I'm going to start out with a positive. The Cobra B.A.T. The Cobra B.A.T himself, he looks great. The packaging on all of these are superb, I will say that, even the Joes. When you pull the sleeve off, you got the, window, you got all the packaging in there and everything that you want to see. When you pull him out of the box, there's accessories galore in there. I will say that they go the full 9 for accessories on all of these figures. I hadn't seen one yet that didn't just have all the bells and whistles and crazy things that you would think of from hidden episodes. So that's pretty cool. The B.A.T, his head, he has an alternate head, and I will say they done a superior job on the head on the B.A.T. It looks great, but if you notice, the neck sleeve, it actually sits down in there versus sitting on a peg like the rest of them. Looks great. So if you want to change the head, you don't have to worry, you don't have to sweat, which is the big, big bugaboo there seems to be with the Super 7 Ultimate lines. It's changing the heads, and then we'll get to that later. But with the B.A.T, they knocked it out of the park. They've done a great job. You got the cartoon variant version where he's got the red visor. He looks great. The backpack, when you finally get it on him, it looks fantastic. And it's not just like, with a peg that sticks in the back. It actually has clamps that come over, connect down. And when you do the 360 of them, all the little hands and things that you would change out, they stick up and look just like the OG as it would on the show and in the comic or figure as well back in the day. Now when I bought these, I was kind of hoping that I knew they were going to be about an inch taller than the classified line, but I was hoping they would be so much more menacing that, it would be that big a deal. With the B.A.T, he is massive. You stick him next to the other figures, and you can get away with a little more with the B.A.T just because he's an android. He's supposed to be big. So you can kind of tread a fine line there. So putting him next to the other ones, wow. Huge. Huge in comparison. You can't display them together. It doesn't work. Not even with the Cobra Commander, who I'll review in a minute. But with that being said, he looks great. Very, very posable. He, like I said, he's got all the bells and whistles. And like I said, this right here was super impressive to me. You can change this out and got little electricity you can put on there, different hands, whatnot. I do like that because in all other versions, he's robotically comes through there. This, he has the armor shield like he had in the show, which to me was super great, super great. But then you get little things like this, and there's like a arm you can take out to put another one in that's got wires hanging out of it. It's a lot of really, really cool things. So I can't give the BAT a high enough grade. It's a 10 out of 10 for nostalgia. 5 out of 5 hassles, however you want to say it. It's great. Moving on to Cobra Commander. Now, I was one of those people that missed out on the Hiss. You know, I was, spinning for a wedding at the time, getting ready for merging of homes, all the fun things of life. So, I did not get a Cobra Hiss as well. I didn't get the Cobra Commander retro packaging. A little bummed out. So, when Super 7 announced the Cobra Commander, I said, you know what? The Cobra figures, I will say, they look true enough to where, most of them are masked, so you could get away with some things, feature-wise, and not worry about it not, being cartoony. So, definitely went in for Cobra Commander. I went in for the Storm Shadow as well. I canceled the Destro after getting these, though, however, because, one, I have the retro card Destro. Scored him for a whole $12 with a good card. Radio Monster, thank you for the win. But it clicked all the boxes for me, so I didn't need the $60 version. However, I did keep the others on that there. I did see Monsters Duke, not impressed. It's just too cartoony for me, which is why I didn't go in for any of the Joes. Snake Eyes looks terrible. But I regress. Get back to Cobra Commander here. So I pulled him out, pulled the sleeve out. Again, looks great. Great presentation. You can see the cape. You see all the little bells and whistles that come with him. Opening him up, and I was excited. Like literally, I opened him up, and there's all these little cool accessories, little gadgets and things. I was like, oh shit, this is neat. First thing first, you pull him out of and the cape is wire, so you can pose it or whatnot. However, it doesn't attach to him. It just kind of drapes upon his shoulders. So when you pull him out, the cape stays there. It's like, what the hell? So that was my first, ooh. So I get him out, do a quick, look about with him, place him on the turntable, do a 360 of him. He looks great. It's still, like I said, cartoon accurate, but it looks great. I was like, okay, he's a little bigger than the classifieds, but I might still get by with displaying him on the shelf with the rest. Then I pull him off the turntable and go to inspecting him. First thing first I notice is right here where the helmet and the face shield meet. There's discoloration right here. There's a line there where it is just completely discolored. It is that's where the silver paint is coming off apparently. I'm like, oh, this is no bueno. Then I notice his head, it's like a fucking bobblehead. Literally, you can just barely take your finger, or you can just shake the figure a little bit, and his head is all over the fucking place. So I'm thinking, okay, no problem. He comes with a different head. I'll swap this out. Pop the head off. The head come off pretty easy on that one there. And I noticed just how small the peg is, and I thought I had took a picture of it. I wish I had it now. But the peg in the neck it's minuscule. It's small. I was like, holy shit, that will snap in a quickness if you're not careful. Well, upon looking at the other head to change, which I wasn't a fan of because it doesn't have the strap down the center that Cobra Commander has, I noticed the helmet sits crooked on it. Like literally, the face shield and the helmet are cocked. So putting this other helmet on there, it's not happening now. You can't. It's going to look just as fucking trashy. So I'm thinking maybe if I put the helmet back on that I might can tighten it up somehow. Put the helmet back on, and he's still a bobblehead. He's shaking all over the place. So, unfortunately, my Cobra Commander gets a 2.5 hassles out of 5. He went straight back in the fucking box. I just wasted $59 on this figure for it to now reside in a box inside a tub. So, yeah, fuck you, Super 7, on that one there. That's where the compliment sandwich comes, because now we move on into Silverhawks. Partly metal, partly real. Wings of steel. I mean, come on. How can you not love Silverhawks? So first things first, I got the throne. Monstar's throne from the Transformation Chamber. It's a great looking piece. It really is. You pull it out, it's got a good size to it. I set it on the turntable, done the 360. It looks great, all 4 sides. Super good piece. However, it isn't worth 50 bones. I will say that, because I was thinking maybe some accessories was in there. Would it come with it possibly? No. There's nothing else but the throne inside this $50 box. And then when you pull it out, however, it's not hollow. It does have a bottom to it. You can tell it's hollow on the inside. So you basically have a shell with a bottom encapsulated. $50. No. That's easily a $30 buy. Shouldn't have been any more, any less. So, yeah, not really impressed with pricing on that. The chair itself is nice. The pricing sucked. Then moving on, you can't have, the throne without Monstar himself. And for some fucking reason, Wave 2 drops before Wave 1, which is our armored Monstar and the Quicksilver and, all of the others. So Wave 2 come first, and we get, for the first time ever, untransformed Monstar. Now, I will say, this is a cool figure. This is a very cool figure. He looks great. They done a great deal of detail in this one. They done Ninja Turtles Thundercat level detail on this figure here. He looks amazing. Like from the fur to the parts that are armored, the head, you did a 360, the head looks great. I was in love with it. Super happy with it. He comes with 2 other alternate heads. One is the howling head, which is what I want to change into, because you can't transform without him, opening his mouth howling, give me the might, the menace, the muscle of Monstar. I mean, so you want that howling head and that arm. However, when I go to pull the head off, it's on there, and it is tight, buddy. It is tighter than a Dick's hat band, and it's not coming off. So I kind of give it a little nudge, give it a little tweak, try to pick and pull. And I hear the neck do that little creaking and I know what this sound is, because with their first wave of Thundercats, Lion-O, his neck actually split and broke. They have a seam that runs along this neckline right here. And then that's what seams together, and you have your peg. Okay. On Lion-O, when I pulled the other head off, it came off fine. When I went to put the other head on, because of how tight it is, when you try to slide over that ball, it's pressing down hard. You can't hardly get it on there properly. Because like if you're not careful, it'll just fall off. So pressing down hard, it popped. Cracked the side of his neck, and fuck it scarred me. I have PTSD when it comes to changing these heads out on these Super 7 Ultimates. So when I heard that familiar creak, I stopped immediately. So nope, we're not doing this. And I will give Super 7 kudos. Now my Lion-O, they did replace the body, which is kind of whack. It was cool that they replaced it, but it didn't send a head. They literally sent me a headless body. So they were going to make sure you didn't get another fucking figure. You had to take your heads off your figure to put to it. So good and bad, but it's customer service. What are you going to expect? Either way, I left the head on. So I set him in the throne. He looks great. And I do the pose I want to do with the arm in the air. Well, it looks a little whack when his, mouth isn't wide open and he's not howling to the moon star of limbo. So I finally put his arm back down and just he's sitting there patiently in his throne, as you see. But he still looks great. I'm a fan of this. Moving on to Steel Wheel. He has removed the sleeve as well. He looks good. He looks super great in the packaging. He very good job of balancing the card. I will say the Hawks, they shift back into the more cartoon accuracy versus the detail we got with Monstar. So Steel Wheel, you shift back into that, and he looks great, but he is kind of cartoony. But there's enough detail there. I put him on the turntable, done a 360. The Hawk that comes with him, I forget the Hawk's name, looks great. His helmet version looks really super cool because we never got that as kids. Because I think Quicksilver was the only one that had the little faceplate that would come down on an alternate figure. I don't believe the rest did. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please call me out on this. But I don't remember it. So it was really cool to have the football helmeted Steel Wheel. It looks great. The arms are very easy to change out. You can change them out and put the wings on. They look great on there. It does a good job. I will say I got a NECA flat stand. It was a little, the weight of the figure is kind of difficult to manipulate into the NECA stand, but once you get it there, it does pretty good. Couple things that is flawed, I will say. He has the shoulder and the wing versions. He has holes in his shoulders here that you put the beams in, they shoot. Those beams don't go in there for shit. I mean, they don't go in there for shit. I tried for a few minutes, and finally, I gave up. It was like, it's not worth it. What's worth the aggravation? He does come with a bunch of cool accessories. Honestly, there was a few things that I didn't remember from the show. Like he's got this gun with a set of teeth on it. I don't remember what that's from. So, hey, if you do, drop it in the comments. Let me know. Educate the Hassel if you want to, so if you will. But all in all, Steel Wheel is a good, solid 4 out of 5 Hassels. Good, cool piece. I like it. Moving on, lastly, to Bluegrass. This was a figure I loved as a kid, and it gives me hope that hopefully we will get a Mirage. But you pull the sleeve off just like the others, and he looks amazing in package. So anybody that just wants to display these in the package, they look great with just a sleeve pulled off. I actually have the San Diego Comic-Con bat sitting here that way, so you can get by with that. They do look really good that way. That's not a problem. But me, I got to pull them out. I got to let them breathe. I've waited for the Silverhawks line since I was a child. I mean, I was a huge Silverhawks fan as a kid. We only got a few toys. The line discontinued. Cartoon, we got one season, and it was one and done. Which I will say their seasons were 65 episodes. So, but it didn't get live in syndication like a lot of things. You don't see it any longer. And it was one of the few things not to be reproduced, not to get remastered or anything. So this is the first Silverhawks we have had since literally the 80s. So I'm pumped about it. So Bluegrass was super cool. Pulled him out, done a 360 with him. He looks great on all sides. He probably had a few more accessories than the others because, he has the lack of wings. I will say he comes with 2 birds and 2 guitars. So you got the one guitar that is actually like the one that he plays in the beginning of the show. And it's pretty cool because it actually has an accessory that is the music bars and stuff that's shot out of his, guitar. And it looks cool, but it's so heavy when you get it on there, it weighs him down, which is one of the things I've noticed that all these figures of Super 7, they have a flaw where there's like very loose joints or it's too tight. There's no in between. There's no just great flexibility. The joints are either too loose or too tight. Bluegrass's torso on mine is too loose. So if you put any kind of weight on that guitar, he tilts. It looks like he's doing Angus Young, so to speak. And which I guess maybe that will be okay. But so I couldn't really leave the music effect on there, unfortunately. But he comes with another guitar because as well as his bird would turn into a guitar. So that was pretty cool. There's the birded guitar version. Then you have the bird himself that's As you saw in the 360, he has the back that is guitar-esque, and then he looks really cool. And there's another version where his wings is completely spread, and that looks really, really cool. He comes with a lasso, a couple different, a shit ton of hands, because he's got actually hands that does guitar motions. So you can actually have him picking and a grinning, playing his Neon Rainbow all day long. So that there is cool. He's got 3 heads as well. I didn't even attempt to change his head. I will say, on steel wheel, I did not have any trouble changing his head. So kudos for that. There was no problem there. I didn't attempt with Bluegrass because the head that's on there looks very much like the head that came on the original figure. So for me, I didn't have to have him smirking any more or less than what he is in this figure right here. I was happy. I'll give, he's a good 4.5 out of 5 Hassels. Great figure. Great figure. I mean, they all look cool. As you can see right here. I mean, I'm happy with them. Now to get the rest of them, I still do not understand how Wave 2 dropped before Wave 1 when they were announced months apart. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. However, Super 7, I will say you need to get your shit together. Decide if you're going cartoon, decide if you're going detailed, one or the other. I know with some of the G.I. Joe stuff you said you had to, so be it. But with the Silverhawks, I would like to see some continuity there. I've noticed with like some of the mutants or mutates or whatever Monstar's crew was, some of those look very detailed, very much like these Ninja Turtles, you know, where they got just a shit ton of detail. Or like on the mutants on the Thundercats line I'm looking at over there, like Slife is one of the most beautiful, you know, detailed figures that, you know, they've done. So hopefully with some more of the mutates we'll get that there, you know, and I'd like to see a little more detail, you know, with the Silverhawks themselves. But either way, I'm pretty happy with it. So that concludes this week's Hassel's review as far as Super 7. We got a few little name drops I want to hit you with. We are actually on our Nerdy Man Room show. If you check out the channel, which this is on, we're actually a handful of subscribers away from our goal of 250 subscribers. So thank you, people. We need to get the goal out there, though. We need to get it going. We need to hit that 250 so that we can do the giveaway. I have an H4 autographed by Michael Myers, Tom Morgan himself, Michael Myers mask to give away, courtesy of a great friend of the show, Whitley Alexander, who is actually over in Kuwait right now serving our country. Hats off to you, kid. Much love to you. Thank you very much for the donation for the thing. So we got a great gift to give away. We're trying to give it away to you people. All you have to do, like, subscribe, share, get us out there. So with that being said, please do so we can give this damn thing away. Secondly, as you know, you're watching Hassel's Review, a subsidiary of the Nerdy Man Room show. Well, we have huge news. This is breaking news. So, as you know, the Nerdy Man Room show is on YouTube and on Roku television. Well, they liked Hassel's Review enough to pick up past the pilot. We're done with the pilot episode, and we are now moving Hassel's Review featuring Big Rob's House of Entertainment and No Chinese Food to Roku television. That's right, you boy, Hassel and Rob are going to Roku TV for Hassel's Review featuring Big Rob's House of Entertainment, feed on Southern Joy Media. So check our channel out, like, subscribe, share it. Please get it out there. We're trying to get this thing off the ground, and we have a bunch of different shows that are going to be on there. Obviously, the Nerdy Man Room show, now Hassel's Review. So the channel's growing. We're super proud, super happy about this. So thank you. But also, we couldn't do this without our sponsor, the Zone Collectibles. We want to give a shout out to Kevin Clady. A lot of love to you. He's been struggling with a little health issue. So you would say if you're the praying type, say a prayer. If you're, you know, just hey, I hope wish you well. Send the well wishes. That's fine. However you want to do it. Whatever you believe. That's great. Just send him some love. There's over in Tifton, Georgia, 305 Main Street. Go see them. They got all your nerdy needs. They can hook you up with anything you need. And if he don't got it, I promise, he'll find it. in a short amount of time and at a damn good price. So, with that being said, I think we've hit everybody. This is Hassel's review, and partly metal, partly real. Wings of silver, nerves of steel.